Mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're well and I hope you're having a great day. Today we're back on the Racing Green. As you can see, the car's turned round. That means we're going to take the rear subframe out. Hopefully it won't take too long. The petrol tank is already removed. All the interior is already gone. So there's only a few bits to unbolt now. Obviously when I've done the seals, I made sure the bolts come out of the front of the subframe that go into the rear heel board. They were fine. So it should be quite straightforward. Let's get this subframe whipped out. Let's have a look at the condition of the back end of the car and keep your fingers crossed for me. I really hope there's not loads and loads of welding to do at the back there. It looked pretty solid, but you'll see when we get the subframe out, the subframe does need replacing. So thanks for tuning back in again this week. Let's get stuck into the action. Right, so let's get this subframe out. I think I'll try and do it without time lapse. I've already done quite a few bits which have been done previously. So the fuel tank has been removed. The front part of the handbrake has been disconnected from the handbrake lever and poked back through the floor. The battery cable has been removed. The front to rear brake pipe has been removed. And the fuel pipes have been removed. So really, it should be just a case of the bolts going through into the rear heel board, the rear bolts at the back of the boot floor here, the top suspension damper mounts, and then the whole lot should just drop out the bottom. But let's see. I will probably try and leave the wheels on just to make it easier as well. We'll take it out in one big lump and then afterwards we'll strip the subframe. So bear with me, let's see how we get on.
You have tried to bring me down. One time, two times, too many. I've been lost, but now I'm found.
Hey Mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? I hope you're all well and I hope you're having a great day. So like I mentioned, I did plan to do this in real time, but in the end I ended up struggling with a few of the bolts at the back of the subframe where the rear mounts are just corroded up, so it took a little bit longer, so I decided to time lapse it instead. So hopefully the back end of the car is not too bad. I'm at that point where I really don't want to have to do much more welding. I did have a good look over the car before I bought it, and I've had a look since, and it looks pretty solid at the back there, but obviously until you get the subframe out, and you can't really do a proper inspection. I have already bought a rear subframe. It's a non-genuine one, it's a mini spares one. It's the same as I fitted on the budget restoration I'd done, Project Bruce. And that subframe was okay. I did have problems with captive bolts on that subframe, so I will be checking this one before I fit it. And I should hopefully have most of the rest of the components I need to reassemble the subframe now. I was actually stuck on the handbrake cable here. Although I disconnected it, it had got trapped inside the car. So yeah, it didn't take too long, but it would have just been a bit more boring to watch it in real time. Now I'm spraying penetrating oil on all the nuts and bolts, and we'll get this subframe stripped down. So although pretty much everything's going to get replaced or overhauled on the back here, I still try and take it apart without breaking stuff, because you never know what you might need to reuse. However, the brake pipe unions at the back there were just rounded off and corroded, so I got the cutting disc out here just to cut the brake pipes. Once again, thanks to everyone that has bought me a beer through the Buy Me a Coffee link. It's in the description. If you'd like to contribute, I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now at this stage I decided to cut the handbrake cable on the back there. The split pin which goes through the rear pivot for the handbrake cable I just couldn't get it out. I'll probably have to drill the hole once it's off, but I'm going to be replacing the handbrake cable anyway. So that's most of the subframe stripped now. It does make it a lot easier with the electric nut guns. I've got a 1/2 inch drive and a 3/8, and it just speeds things up quite a lot. The one thing just not to forget, actually, in the back of the subframe where the donuts go, there are like bump stops which are held in with like I guess it's like a spring washer. Not actually sure what they do, but I'll do a bit of research and find out. If anyone knows, drop a comment down the bottom. They're like small plugs which go in where the donut goes on the subframe.
Right, so there we go, subframe removed. There was very little mechanical sympathy going on there. I wasn't worried about bolts breaking and that sort of thing. I didn't faff around, I just cut the handbrake cable off because it was all seized, and yeah, just no messing around really. So you might be wondering why I've replaced this subframe, because it didn't look too bad on first inspection. But as I've sort of stripped it down now and had a bit of a poke, you can see stuff like this. I mean, that ain't good at all. That means that's completely rotten up the top there. That's no good. Can't really repurpose that. And let me turn it over and I'll show you the worst bit. So on the other side, this is the top part of the subframe is starting to go here. As you can see inside here again, same as the other side, this is just rotten. But the worst bit is this subframe's been patched. So this plate here has just been sort of blob welded on top. I actually put like a hammer and chisel down there, and the welds are so bad you can just start chiseling it off. But as you can see, it's all just blobbed on. Really horrible welding. It's had a patch in there. It's really it's not good. Look at that welding. That is manky. So that is why I'm replacing that subframe. It's, I'd say that's shot to bits. Definitely not repairable. So that's going on the scrap heap. Only one broken bolt though, so it's a bit of a win, isn't it? The rest of the components, oh yeah, they all come off all right. I had a bit of problem with the brake T-piece, so I had to cut that off. Trunnions and everything come out okay. The bushes, oh, where'd I see them? I think I thought they were all split. Which one was I looking at? Oh yeah, the bushes are split. These bits will go in the bin now. I'll have to find some material to go on top of the subframe. That's just like an insulator between the body and the subframe, stop it crashing. The arms don't look too bad. I didn't check. I'll probably have to check back on an old video, but I can't remember whether the radius arm pins were worn or not, but we'll be doing them both anyway. Looks like it's got new drums on it. I can't quite remember. I'm sure I had the brakes apart early on, and I think they have all been done. Obviously we get new brake hoses, radius arm pins, again gas shocks on the back. These are actually okay, so two minds what to do. Do I clean those gas shocks up, reuse them? I wonder if you can still buy these now, because 3 out of the 4 are good. But anyway, well, good job done there. So hope you enjoyed watching today's video. If you did, as always, remember, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. And if you want to drop me a comment, I read all the comments. And I very much do appreciate your support. Thanks for tuning in again this week. And catch you again next time, when we'll probably start cleaning off the boot floor and seeing if there's any hidden horrors down there. Fingers crossed.